Hey, so it's this week's comic review. Not very many this time, only 5 issues, and there was a few others that I was thinking about getting, but I might get them next week. It's ones that I wasn't desperate to rush out to buy. So just look at what I got. So first one is Green Lantern, number 11. Do like that cover. So it's by Jeremy Adams, Zemanko, and there's a backup by Jeremy Adams and Kevin Maguire. So yeah, still loving this comic. This is some quite fun flashbacks to how Jordan's younger years when he was a teenager, and it's also dealing with Carol Ferris. It's like she's trying to get rid of her feelings for Hal by rushing into something with this guy who she's with. Don't want to elaborate further because you'll have to read the comic. But then, of course, you've got the major story arc, what's going on, where there's this big conspiracy where the Green Lanterns are trying to be being blamed for the machinations of this guy here. Again, I can't really talk about it too much because it'll ruin it for you. I do advise if you like Green Lantern, if you've got if you like, say for example, Jeff Johns' run Green Lantern, this is getting onto a par with that. I did not like the first 5 issues, but then something happened in the 6th issue and it suddenly clicked. I think they moved away from just being Earthbound, and he stopped making Hal Johns be such an arsehole, really. And yeah, it's becoming a good, fun galactic comic, and there's a nice little backup strip by Jeremy Adams and Kevin Maguire, focusing on Guy Gardner. And so he's arrested who he thinks is Lobo, but it's not Lobo, it's just another Cenarian. And yeah, it's just a fun 8 issue strip that's got ties to the ongoing House of Brainiac story in the Superman title. So yeah, I give this a solid 9 out of 10. And then talking to House of Brainiac, we've got number 3. So this is Action Comics 1065 by Joshua Williamson on writing and Sandoval on art. And then there's a really nice backup strip as well. So main story, very fast paced, again building up on the plots that's already been laid out in the previous 2 issues. So Brainiac in full force. What I like about this issue is how they've got Lex Luthor being Lex Luthor, so you don't know if he's on the side of the good guys or on the side of the bad guys. He's that really good, clever grey line that only Lex Luthor can balance. And yeah, it's such a fun, cosmic, fast-paced space action comic. Joshua Williamson has really got the voice of Superman down really well, and he writes a good Lobo comic as well. I'd be very happy for him to do a Lobo strip. And there's a gorgeous, gorgeous backup strip, again written by Williamson, and the art is by Mirko Kolak. I love this art, very, very European. I think some people hate it, but I absolutely love it. This is my kind of artwork. And this focuses on Brainiac's son. I forgot what he's called. He was the one who was in Legion 89 series from back in the day. And yeah, it just fleshes out this storyline. So there's more going on than meets the eye initially from the previous 2 episodes of this comic. And yeah, Superman's not been this much fun since the old Triangle days back in the 80s and 90s. Again, 9 out of 10. I do recommend you jump on board. Either get these now or wait for this run to finish, get it when it gets collected, and start Superman titles after that. But yeah, really good fun, how Superman should be. And moving on to that, there's just one more DC comic. It's a Black Label one. This came out last week, but the price put me off, but I didn't look at it properly. So I looked at this time. It's $5.99, but it's 32 pages, no filler, cardstock cover. So yeah, it works well, and it's by Univar, and it's the Boy Wonder 5 issue series, Black Label, but it's an all ages Black Label. Really nice, almost like an animation style artwork, and it's it's got the voice of Damien perfectly. I love the tongue-in-cheek humour in this. There's humour in it, but there's also this air of mystery as well, almost like a mythology, fairy tale kind of vibe to it. It's kinetic, it's frenetic, it's every other etic you could imagine, and it's just fun. It's such a fresh take on Damien. He's got the voice of Damien well. He's arrogant, but he's not dislikable. He makes him still likable. You can feel his frustration. He's Batman's real flesh and blood son, but he feels like he's pushed to one side. Like Batman loves his adopted sons more. And this is just basically Damien finding his voice. I can't wait for the next issue. It's very good value, $5.99, but you do get 32 pages, cardstock cover, and even the interior has no adverts. When you compare this to say something like, if this was Marvel comic, this would be $7.99. I mean, look at the Wolverine and was it Predator comic, which was $7.99 for 32 pages, but it wasn't 32 storage pages, about 25 story pages, and it was just a floppy comic. I say no more. So yeah, 9 out of 10 again. So good week this week, even though it's only a small selection. And next up, this is the only Ultimate comic I'm getting now. I nearly stopped it, but I'm glad I didn't, because I was going to get it in trade, but I decided to carry on with it. And it's Ultimate X-Men. I don't get what people are moaning about, saying, oh, but it's not X-Men, it's not X-Men, it's the Ultimate X-Men. Ultimate Spider-Man isn't 616 Spider-Man, it's completely different. Go into it with that mindset and you'll enjoy it. And it's not trying to be like a mirror image of the current X-Men teams. She's creating her own X-Men, her own mythology, and the artwork is beautiful. And and they're now introducing the third mutant, which a lot of reviews seem to have overlooked. And there's this really nice, almost like supernatural element to it. There's a mysterious neighbour with a cat, and yes, the artwork is just so gorgeous. We've got this nice watercolour, like almost like classic Japanese scroll painting kind of style. But it goes into the origin of her friend, the one who's like a Storm fangirl. And look at that splash page. That is just dynamite. This is where this girl's powers become unleashed. And it's just the clever beats of how she conveys the how her family dynamic has broken down, how her mum doesn't listen to her, and how her dad just hates his life and hates his family. And on the final page, it reveals there could be another third mutant. So she's slowly building this little world of new X-Men characters, and I'm all for it. I would give this, again, 9 out of 10. This is one my favourite Ultimate, well, it's got to be my favourite Ultimate one, it's the only one I'm carrying on with now. And then another great company at the moment is Ghost Machine, and this is Red Coats number 2. Nice cover. This is fun. It's by Brian Hitch, Jeff Johns, Andrew Curry on inks, Brad Anderson on colouring, and Rob Lee on letters. The artwork is really nice. Brian Hitch is some of his best. It doesn't feel as rushed as what he did on Venom and other recent stuff. And so this delves more into the lore of what's he called? Simon Pure, is it? Yeah, Simon Pure. So he's like a mix of Jack Sparrow and also Ichabod Crane. What's it? Remember from Sleepy Hollow, the TV series? So he's like an Englishman out of time. And he's got this immortal power, but something happens to him where he might not be immortal anymore. And he's got this sidekick, which is a young Albert Einstein. It's just fun. It's a rollicking adventure. Again, don't want to say too much about it. You need to read it to experience it. The dialogue's fun. It's got a quick pace to it. Yeah, it's a good adventure comic. It's like Highlander meets Pirates of the Caribbean meets your favourite kind of like, almost like a Jules Verne kind of adventure story. And yeah, 8.59 out of 10. So that's it for this week. Only 5 issues. I was going to pick up Madripoor Nights and Suicide Squad, but I'm going to wait, because if I wait online, this comic company reduces the comics that have been out for a few weeks by 50%, so I'll get them then, because they're not ones that will sell out So I'll try them. But that's it. I'm going to do another video in a bit, which I shall post soon. Okay, bye.